Salutations, my name's Kartosael and welcome to the new series featuring Rimworld Alpha 13, which is the latest version, came out a couple of days ago. A small disclaimer up front, I'm not good at this game, but I do enjoy it. So, for those who are unfamiliar with the game, normally you just create a world. The world I've created is has the seed, Kartonia. And then you make a new colony, and you choose a storyteller. So it's a colony simulator. You have a couple of colonists to try to survive, produce food, stuff like that. You have to choose between 3 storytellers. Rimworld essentially is putting in control of a story, which rather than the game itself does not have a story. You create your own together with the events that actually happen. So you have Cassandra Classic, just a standard, really. Phoebe Chillax, which is like really relaxed. It's kind as the name implies. But yeah. And then you have this guy, which is completely random. And then, as I'm not really any good at this game, I'm just going to go for this one. There are 5 different, difficulties, challenges. I think how it's supposed to be played. Yeah. I'm not going above rough. Free to play is really, just that. Base builder, there's not too much of difficulty thrown at you. Which difficulties can be, invasions of pirates or angry tribespeople. Or I once had an invasion of killer bunnies, which sounds really nice until you figure out that, hey, one of my colonists has just been shredded to pieces by a horde of killer rabbits. I wasn't amused. So we're going for rough, nothing above that. This is the name of the world. Just chooses one for you. This is how it looks like. So you have all these biomes. You can choose, this is the biome map. It's the elevation map. So it's very mountainous, it's very flat. Every information, rainfall, just how wet is all of this, and the temperature, and all this combines to make the biome, which determines whether or not you have, any food, or if there's any mountainous area you can dig into. So I'm just going to choose random and hope it's an okay spot. Can I, zoom in? Oh, I can. Isn't that amazing? I like some elevation, hills at the very least, and this is just flat. Where have you put me now? Oh, somewhere in the desert I saw. Is there any way to... Yeah, there we go. No, let's not go in the middle of the frozen waste. I'm not that good, and I do not want to commit basically suicide. There's some hills, large hills. Spring to fall. Yeah, let's do it. So over here, you get to choose 3 colonists to go to your colony, and they all have their stats. This is new. There's always been there. Every colony has a health, but in the previous version, you had to click on this guy, then go to health, and then see. Oh, this colonist has cataracts. And it's frail. And now it's actually just displayed over here, which is really nice. Because, this person, male, this guy, he's good at growing stuff. It's really artistic, good at research. What all those imply, if you don't know, we'll get there when we get there. But all this really makes it not that good of a character. So what I usually do is I gather a crew which is able to do the most important things to start off with. So that's what I'm going to do off camera for a bit, or else, it's mostly just pressing the randomize button until something good pops up. Here we go. I have chosen 3 settlers. Some took a very long time to decide upon because some were just awful. I did see a lot of trades which weren't there in Alpha 12, because nowadays people actually have social interactions and as such they have traits that can influence that. So there's that. So as for the names for our people, I'm a sound technician in a church band, and some of my members found it highly amusing that I was recording stuff, so I'm going to abuse their names and watch them die horribly. Or, succeed. Which, if you've watched my channel, we both know which of those two outcomes is the most likely. So we have immediately give you a small inkling as how to Dutch names are pronounced. We have Robert, which is he's actually our sniper. He's good at shooting and stabbing stuff. He's also good with animals. He's fair at medicine. He's an okay cook. So if there are no flames in front of one of these bars, it means they learn this skill very slowly. As you can see, passion none. Learns about 0.3 times average speed. 1 flame's just normal. Technically learns it a 1-to-1 ratio. And 2 flames means it learns 50% faster. So Robert is very keen to learn a lot of different things, which is very nice. But he will mainly be concerning himself with shooting stuff, hauling stuff whenever there's nothing to shoot, or, binding wounds or cooking stuff. Incapable of intellectual. I'm sorry, Robert, you're not a scientist to us. One of the things you really have to be careful for is that there isn't dumb labor here, because that means they cannot haul or clean, which is really important. Secondly, Bert-Jan. He has chance to learn animals. Unlike Robert, he's actually very social, apparently. He's also very good at growing, compared to some others. He's actually as good as Robert is, but he has much more passion, so he will learn it quicker. He also has a bit of crafting, a bit of mining. He's a fair constructor, which is actually what we kind of need. He's also a bloodlust. He likes hurting people, and he likes getting prosthetic limbs. And this guy, Robert, is a careful shooter and psychically dull, which means he's not as effective by psychic stuff, which is very useful. Finally, we have Rob. Poor Rob cannot dream of harming people, so he cannot shoot, he cannot stab, he can't do any of that. He is, however, very good at growing. He is good at constructing. He's excellent at mining. He's very capable of learning that, and he is a researcher. Because both these guys are incapable of doing research. So if we were, for some reason, to lose Rob, we would lose our chance of gaining new technology, which is actually rather important. So there's that. With all that, we're going to start. And there we go. The 3 of you awake in your crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Hello, loud intro music. So, first off, let's pause. Let's pause now. As you can see, we have our 3 colonists over here. Rob, what are you wearing? You're just wearing pants. Right. So, Robert, you're going to equip the sniper rifle. Well, it's not really a sniper rifle, it's just a hunting rifle. You're going to equip the pistol. You're going to equip the knife, even though you can't use it and don't like leaving it on the ground. Unforbidding all these things. Which means that once they'll be able to, they will haul it to a storage. Of course, we need to make a storage. But that's all from later. We also have a pet. There we go. We have Pooba. A cat. I like cats. What is this? Steel wall. I believe that's new. I cannot remember steel walls. Certainly not one looking like that. So let's have a look at our map. Hello, wind. It's kind of funny if you zoom out really far, you get the sound of wind. So we have some rocky stuff. But the downside is we don't really have anything we can dig into and live. Oh, don't want to mess with you guys. If you shoot them, they explode into flaming infernos. As infernos are usually flaming. But water over here. Packaged meals. Yeah. Not too happy. Nope, too happy indeed. Nope. There's no real cliff I can live into. Maybe a bit of this. What's on earth? Compacted machinery. What? Mine for components. So this is actually the first time I'm playing Alpha 13. So if I sound confused, it's because I have absolutely no idea what's going on now. Well, I have an idea, but that's about it. I read the patch notes, but a lot of the things... the patch notes were fairly vague. So apparently you can now mine compacted machinery, which sounds completely logical. This darker patch of soil is actually fertile soil, which means if you grow crops, they grow a lot faster. What I am looking for are geothermal vents. They look a bit like geysers. I think they're actually called geysers. And there don't seem to be a lot of them. There's one over here. Steam geyser. So you can build geothermal plants on those and they provide power. And you need power, loads of power, so those are very useful. Oh, these two are quite close together. So usually you want the base close by. So we have two over here, one over there. A base here would be okay, I suppose. There's one over here. I have a feeling I'm just missing them. And that one's spewing, so I can see it a little better. Are they all? Do they all spew synchronously? No, they do not. Bother. There's another one over here. But it doesn't appear to be one anywhere close to the fertile soil. Oh, there is one over there. I guess that's okay. Because the fertile soil does make your crop go a lot faster, which is really useful. Maybe I'll just settle in here. Kind of in the middle of the map. Well, ish. It's quite far above the middle. I'll just build like over here. Let them grow food over here, like have a little shack or something. Probably have a sleeping area over there. Something like that, you know. So this is a wall, and I guess this is... No, this isn't all roofed. So let's start building a wood door. And we will use this as our primary little encampment. Oh, the ship is now its own tab. With temperature of joy, is looking around if there's anything new. Not really. Yeah, there is. Okay. Really? Party spots? Wow. Okay. That's gonna be fun. Okay. It's the royal bed. This is just a really nice bed. Fits two. Now the double beds actually fit two people instead of just one, which is, you know, nice. So I'm starting off with sleeping spots. They're nothing fancy. Quite literally. There's just a spot on the ground that tells people, you know, you can sleep over here. And eventually we'll actually give them beds, but not anytime soon. Okay. This looks like this might not be as it should. What on earth did I do to this poor thing? So oh, they actually start with crematoriums. Huh. Crafting spot. A place for crafting simple things like shivs or bows. Oh, that's new. Funny. Let's just place it down. It's free. So, I'm guessing that these guys should have been removed, but haven't. Well, electric sounds normal. Components, that's new. This is just steel. Wood-fueled stove. Okay. And a simple research bench. So that's all new. But first and foremost, let's design some zones. So let's first off just create a dumping stockpile, which just means anything that we don't really want is going to be dumped over there, which includes corpses. Secondly, we're going to need to start actually right away with some crops. And I suppose we could just start right over here. There's no real method to my madness with regards to how big I'm making these. Just choosing a size that I think is okay. No, this should have been one. You're one. Then why aren't you? I already know why. So, growing zone. First click on it, then extend it. Otherwise you will create two. Right. I want to actually, yeah, potatoes, fine. Strawberries, because you can eat strawberries just raw, because, you know, it's a fruit. And should I start off with some clothing or some more plants? I think I'll go for... Oh, that's new. Heal root. Cotton. A little bit of cotton doesn't hurt anyone. Also, stockpile zone. Just an ordinary stockpile zone. There we go. Now we can let the time actually start, and people will start hauling stuff. Oh, look, components. So now stuff will be hauled, which is very useful. And yeah, so you can of course speed up time to 3 times. This guy's chopping wood. Amazing. However, I kind of want to determine for myself what they are going to do. So these guys are fair doctors. These are priorities. Yeah. Maybe I should explain this a little bit. So these are all the different tasks they can and will perform. The number indicates which priority it is. So they'll go from left to right. In this case, robots will look first. If there's any task with priority 1, doctor, do that first. If not, the first you encounter with priority 2. If not, first you encounter priority 3. So first will be firefight, then patient, then bed rest, which is new. That's actually quite useful. Firefighting is very, very important. Being a patient as well. If there's really nothing better you can do, rest in your bed. Flicking is also important. Warden, there's only one really social enough to do that. Handle is going to do with animals. You're pretty good at that. Cooking, I think you were really the only one good at that. That's going to be a top priority. It's not as important as being a doctor. But this one's, you know, to the left of it, so that's okay. Hunting. Yeah, you're also a shooter, aren't you? That's a bit annoying. I don't want you to... Yeah, I suppose you could. Construction, 7, 9. Same goes repair. Grow. Yeah, you can have that. You can have it at 4. There's really nothing else to do. Yeah. Mine. It's also quite important, actually. If I have stuff to mine, please mine it. Yeah, you too. Plant cutting. Well, you're the grower, so you should be the plant cutter. Smithing, tailoring, crafting is all not that important just yet. Hauling and cleaning. Hauling is very important. Cleaning. We'll get a somewhat dedicated cleaner eventually, but not right now. So now everybody has their task. I'm going to tell everyone that. There we go. Cut all the plants. Why would I want to do that? Quite simply because it has to happen. Right. What can I make at this workplace? Crafting spots. Makeshift globber short bow. It's something, I suppose. Speaking of something, can I actually... Yes, I can generate power. Sunlight. Wind. This is new. Must be fueled by hand. That's a bother. But what would that count as? Well, I guess we'll see. By the way, are all my guys male? No. Rob, you're a girl. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. So this first episode's going to be a bit longer. I will generally try and keep them at about 20 minutes. But this one is the first one, so I'm going to make it go run a bit longer. Now, next stop that I want to do is actually start making a little... Are you a bear? Okay. A little storage is what I was trying to say before I got distracted by bears. 11, 10. There we go. Nope, that's completely incorrect. And why can't I build here? That seems weird. What is this? Mud. Oh dear. I guess we'll start over here. Yeah, it does scan that first block. Good. There we go. Of course, we need some doors. We're going to need a refrigeration unit, which I'll just place over here. Nothing fancy to start off with. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So I'm going to put the storage in there. Because a lot of things need to be stored under a roof. Because if you don't, they will degrade. And you really don't want that. So put the stockpile zone over there. For example, I don't think these will... Oh, these actually can degrade. That's a pity. You're just standing. Okay. Sure, go ahead. Medicine... excuse me. Medicine can degrade. Metal cannot. And wood can degrade as well. And if it's left in the rain or whatever, then it will. What are you doing? What were you doing to that poor tree? Oh, you were vomiting. Fair enough. Thankfully, the bears appear to be passive. Oh. Can we tame them? Oh dear, that's going to be very difficult to tame. Wilderness level 75. Oh, what did you just? Likes the wheeling body part. Yeah, well. It should be. Oh wow, they really made walls look different. They look really weird now. I'm sorry, but I kind of prefer the previous one. Now this is new. You can see what they've done. There should be, you know, tab on which they tell you about the social interactions, but I cannot find it. So I have absolutely no idea. how these guys feel towards one another. Speed up time again. And if you're wondering why are you doing this, it's basically because this is going to be a cold room. And I'm building this as an airlock to make sure that it actually stays cold inside, even if they go through the door. Speaking of doors, I'm going to place a floor. Which makes no sense, I know. Right. We need power. Wind turbines usually work. Oh, that works quite well actually. And we are going to need steel. And we're going to need to cut down all those trees behind it. Well, that's okay. Let's see, let's put a power conduit over here. I don't like the look of power conduits, so it's best to hide it in walls. I'm going to put a battery in here. And attach the power. Like so. And there will be a cooler in here. I hope that's enough though. I'm going to cut all the plants. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's only 5 only behind this guy, but you know, better be sure. We'll pave it eventually. No, it's 6. Enjoying your meals? The great advantage of strawberries. Just eat it raw. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. And I do hope to see you again next time.